Somewhere far away, I want you back.
And we're back. Good morning, guys. No, I'm kidding. Good morning and happy Money Tuesday, traders. What's up? What's going on? Welcome back to the best trading chat room in the world, because you guys make it the best. Happy Tuesday. It is April. I keep getting my months mixed up. It is not March anymore. It is April money showers, baby. April 5th, 9:07 a.m. And for those of you that have been inside a chat for the past 30 minutes as we've been on the mic, you know exactly what our top stock of the day is. That's it, guys. We're done. SBFM, that's the only stock we're going to be watching. All right, cool. So what do we do for the next 23 minutes? No, I'm joking. Good morning, guys. Hit me with a big old good morning. Happy Money Tuesday. How are we feeling today? Are we fired up? Are we ready to rock and roll? I mean, so far, so good. What a great start to the day. I know Kit's King got himself a nice little SBFM trade there. Break of the downtrend back above 550. New high a day. Let's go, baby. Woo! And I personally locked in about 19% this morning with some traders in chat. I was actually trading SBFM down here for the break of the downtrend above $4. I took profit at $4.60 and I locked in some profit at $5.15. Absolutely, I left a lot of money on the table. But what I didn't do is give all my money back, right? This thing could have dropped on off to $4, $3, $2. You know the market, guys. Anything can happen. The stock was really overextended. The stock went from $4 to $5.50 with no pullback. And I'm like, this thing's gonna pull back. I need to go ahead and take my profit. I locked up 19% in 20 minutes. So I invested $1,000 on my smaller, more realistic account, what we're gonna be doing for the month of April. And I locked up $191.21 on a $1,000 investment. I bought 250 shares at $4.11. I locked up $191 in 20 minutes of trading. So again, it's very, very possible to grow small accounts, right? If this was a smaller $5,000 account, guys, right? That would have been a crazy return, a great trade. And I only would have used $1,000 of my capital, and I would still have some capital left over to trade again for today. So again, I'm doing this to show you guys it's realistic to use small amounts of money to invest to make good returns. I mean, $1,000 investment and make $190. That's not bad. What did we do yesterday on TMC? Right? I invested $1,200 and I locked in at $150. So again, it is possible. The last 2 days, I haven't used any more capital than $1,500. But between the last 2 days, I'm up over $350 at this point in time. So again, it's very, very possible to grow a small account. It's very, very possible to make good, consistent profits in the market, even if you don't have a margin account, guys. So yesterday I took a trade, 130 bucks. Today I took a trade, 191 bucks. And between the last 2 days, I haven't used any more than $2,500, right? So if you think, oh, I got a $5,000 account, it is possible, and we're making that happen. We're showing you guys it is possible to grow those small accounts consistently, even if you are restricted to the PDT rule, all right? So right now, SBFM, guys, what's going on with SBFM? So this morning, SBFM, they report 2 of its newly designed mRNA molecules effective at destroying cancer cells. That's all we need to take away from this press release. Destroying cancer cells, right? They're newly designed mRNA molecules are effective at destroying cancer cells. That's freaking amazing news right there. What else is really great about SBFM? It's a 4 million in float stock. The stock could rip and the stock could run, baby. Right? We are trading really good volume as well. Here on SBFM, we are trading 28 million shares on SBFM, 28 million shares. And the stock normally trades 2 million shares. So we got great volume. We have a nice low float stock. The stock is currently up 160% on really good cancer related news. So right now, SBFM is the #1 stock that we will be watching at this point in time to start our day, guys. All right, SBFM. Why does this chart look weird? That's not SBFM's chart, is it? Dude, I thought there was a gap fill. Wasn't there a bit? Okay, I'm really confused right now, guys. I'm really confused. This wasn't the chart we were just looking at on SBFM, because there was a Anyway, all right, I'm really confused right now, guys, because again, that is not the chart we were looking at on SBFM. On the daily, there was a gap fill up at 650, and I don't even see that. That's not the right daily chart at all. Is your TOS doing the same thing? Yeah, I mean, again, guys, we were looking at one chart a couple minutes ago, and now the chart on the daily is completely different. Oh, so the prices were incorrect? Good job. So again, it readjusted. TD's having a lot of issues, so there was no gap fill. All right, well, that's okay. So anyway, now that we have a new daily chart, let's dissect it, I guess. For a moment, it's like, what's going on? We were literally just watching SBFM and talking about the daily chart and looking at that gap fill. So that was very odd. All right, guys. So what we just did is we broke $5, right? So we look at the daily chart. We're above $5 psychological resistance. We're above our 200 SMA at $5.10. Okay, we are working our way up towards around 650. I had 650 marked up because when I was looking at the chart on TOS this morning, there was a gap fill on SBFM up at 650, but the chart is completely different now on SBFM. So right now we have room to 798, we have room to 875 to 892, and then we could see it up towards around $10 on SBFM. And you guys are like, nah, that's not gonna happen. I mean, great news, great volume. I mean, currently low float stock, currently up 164% on SBFM. This stock has a lot of great potential, guys. Support, the best support on the stock is back down at $5. So if we do not break out, if we do not start ripping and running out of the gate, we could see it come all the way back down towards around $5. That's gonna be one of the better levels of support here on SBFM. We could also hold 525, right? Kids King was talking 525. I said, yep, could be a double bottom, breaking the downtrend. You just grabbed a nice little, 70 cents per share out of SBFM there in pre-market. So right now, you got 525 bottom support and then $5 underneath that. If we crack below $5, we do have room to fade and fall all the way back down towards around 425. We do not want to see this drop below $5 on SBFM, all right? We do not want to see this drop below 5 on SBFM. What we want to see is a nice clean break over 650, right? Nice clean break over that 650 level. We have a lot of potential to $8, $8.75, $9, and then $10 here on SBFM. Again, great news, low float stock, great volume. Currently, our #1 stock of the day. Yeah, that's exactly the chart that I was looking at too. Movie Star, same chart I was looking at, and that's why it's just throwing me off a little bit. If TD keeps having these issues, can we really trust TD to give us accurate charting information, chart data? I mean, today's the second day in a row that things are not correct. And it's like we rely on our charts to make trades, right? We're technical analysts. We're day traders. We read the charts to take trades off of. So again, if their charts are not going to be accurate, that's a little bit of a concern. Wouldn't you guys agree? So let's just be mindful of that. If that keeps happening over and over and over and over, we may be looking to switch who we use for charting just to make sure that we don't have that issue again in the future. So SBFM, #1 stock that we will be watching out of the gate at this point in time. We have a 1-to-4 stock split on MFA. So this is a reverse stock split here. It's a 1-to-4 reverse split MFA. Sometimes these stocks rip. Sometimes these stocks do absolutely nothing. So right now, I'd say MFA is really not going to be worth your time, right? Not going to be worth your time here on MFA. Now, there are a couple other stocks that have potential today, guys, but let's be honest. If you had to pick one stock to trade throughout the entire day, and if you had to choose one stock that you thought had 80 to 90% of the volume and 80 to 90% of the focus, what stock would you pick? SBFM, right? There's other stocks that have potential, but this stock has all of the market attention. Until this stock starts fading and falling and not doing anything, we're probably not going to see other stocks really rip and run. This stock right now has all of the focus, all of the activity, all of the attention. This is where our focus needs to be as well until the stock does absolutely nothing. So what other stocks have potential today if SBFM starts fading and falling and not doing too much? Well, we have SST. All right, so we have SST share spike on Q4 results that were posted on Monday. Support, all-time high of 1821. Right, so if we see this open, come down to that all-time high of 1821 and we start to see some volume move in and it's bouncing, we could see it back up to 20, breaking over 20, we could retest that pre-market high, right? So we are gapping up right now this morning on SST from around 1650. We're trading at 1925. Again, we're gapping up above that all-time high. So we're going to open in a new all-time high today. Like to see it wash out and pull back, and I'd like to see if we can bounce off that 1821 and move back up to 20, maybe above 20, to retest that 2417 pre-market high here on SST. So right now, SST, it's not really trading the volume. That's the only thing. 400,000 shares traded, on average 700,000. So again, we're not really seeing that high relative volume in pre-market, but we're definitely going to surpass that volume today. I mean, I definitely think we're going to 2x, 3x the average volume today on SST. It's currently up 16%, and it's a nice lower float stock as well. It is 36 million in float. So we know that this stock could rip and run, but we need to hold above that 1821 and see some buying volume move in to see if we even have any kind of opportunity or potential to get a nice little run up today on SST. So we will be watching SST. We will be watching RCON, right? So RCON. Shares are trading higher after the company's co-founder, Champagne Ying, raised his stake in the company to 50%. So you do have RCON. And again, the press release here was the co-founder raised his stake to 50%. This stock went from 107, hitting highs of 142 here on RCON. Bottom support right now, right around 117 to 118. RCON is currently, where is RCON? I don't even see it on our gap list right now. I mean, it is gapping up from 107 to 133. I mean, that is over a 10% gap up, but I do not see RCON on our gap list. Oh, here it is, RCON. Okay, up 24%. All right, 24% gapping, trading 5 million shares against the 1 million shares on average. So we do have nice volume in pre-market. Got a good press release, right? The co-founder increasing his stake to 50%. I mean, he must really believe in this company. He's going to increase his stake to 50%, right? You're not just going to increase your stake in a company if you don't believe in it. So again, that's a pretty decent little press release. We have good volume. It's gapping up 24%, and it's a 25 million in float stock. So what we'd be looking for here on RCON is a nice break over 142, that post-market high. We can get a nice little breakout over that 142. We do have some great potential up towards around 160 here on RCON. So again, breaking and holding 142, you can get about 20 cents out of the stock into the 160s. Now, if RCON ever breaks that 160 level, you could see it up towards around 177 and then 196 on RCON. All right, guys. Right now, bottom support would be right around 124, right? You do have some 124 support. Below 124, down towards around this pre-market low, right around 117, right? So watch RCON today. Assuming SBFM does nothing and it just starts dumping and fading and falling, that's when we could see some of these other stocks get some great action. But right now, SBFM is the stock. It is the strongest stock. This is where our focus needs to be and where it should be right out of the gate, right? We have GFAI as well. GFAI dropping another press release, all right? So GuardForce AI expands applications of robotic solutions. GFAI just doesn't excite me when it drops a press release. It's been dropping a press release every other day. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a pretty steady, consistent grinder to the upside. But again, it doesn't really excite me. It doesn't make those big time moves. I see a stock like SBFM moving from $2 to $6. That's the stock I want to trade. That's a stock that can move 50 cents to $1 very quickly versus a stock that can move 10 cents to 15 cents in the matter of 30 minutes like GFAI. So again, I'm not crazy about GFAI. Again, they do have a press release. They've been dropping press releases left and right over the past few weeks. And we are seeing a little bit of a pop here this morning on GFAI. Now, GFAI, if we can find GFAI on our gap list, where is it? There it is. It's up 9%, but it's only trading 2 million shares, right? On average, the stock trades 12 million. We're trading 2 million, and that press release dropped at 7 o'clock. So if traders were really here, eager to get this thing going, I would expect to see more volume compared to the average in pre-market. Trading 2 million shares, on average, we trade 12 million. Nice low float stock. It has a catalyst, right? It meets the criteria to be a watch list worthy stock. It does. But when we really look at this stock and compare it to other stocks that are currently moving in pre-market, it's definitely not like the hottest stock and the stock that really gets me excited, right? But let's keep GFAI on watch. Bottom supports back down at 156. Top resistance on GFAI, 190. And then $2.15 if GFAI does indeed get some action today. So right now we're going to be watching GFAI. We'll watch RCON. We're prepared on that. We'll be watching SST. We're prepared on that. But right now, out of the gate, there is no reason why we're looking at any other stock besides SBFM. If SBFM just fails and it falls and it's nasty, that's when we start looking at some of these other stocks. But as long as SBFM looks strong like it does now in pre-market, I'm not taking my attention away from SBFM. This is the stock that has a lot of great opportunity today, guys, to make some simple profit. Both of these trades were very easy, very simple. Low risk, high reward. Low risk, high reward. This stock is paying the team right now. And as long as this stock continues to set up to pay the team, this is the stock that we're going to be looking at today. Over 650, we have room to $8 next. ATR was one of yesterday's top gainers that we'll be watching today, over 390 and $4. Keep in mind, there's a lot of resistance from 4 to 408, 408 to 425, 425 to 450, 450 to 475, and 475 to $5. We were talking about this yesterday. There's a good amount of resistance between 390 and 408, right? So you got 390, you have 4, you have 408, now you have 413, which is that pre-market high. Once you start breaking that pre-market high, you can see 425, and that's when we start opening up a little bit, from 425 to 450, from 450 to 475, from 475 to $5. But just keep in mind, from right now to that 425, there's going to be a good amount of resistance before we can start to see this thing open up and move a little bit cleaner, a little bit quicker up to these next levels of resistance, all the way to 5 if ATR does indeed get some action. So one of yesterday's top gainers, ATER, currently up 9%. We are trading 8 million shares in pre-market, which is above the average, and it's a nice medium float. It is a stock that could make some moves today, so we will be watching ATER as a back burner. NUTX, one of yesterday's IPO stocks, IPO'd at 10, hit highs of 52.80. We will be watching this one above yesterday's pullback low of 23.48. So yesterday's pullback low after that big rip and run was $23.48. We will be watching NUTX to see if we do get some volume today on the stock and to see if we hold above that 23.48. If we see that level hold and we have some good volume and the stock starts moving again today, there is opportunity. High risk though. These newer IPO stocks, they're like the babies of the stock market. You have nothing to look back on. No prior levels of resistance, no prior levels of support, no past chart history to get an idea of what the stock can do today. It's brand new to the stock market. It's the baby of the stock market. So these are high risk trades, but they could also be very, very high reward. This is not a stock that you jump in with 1,000 shares, in my opinion, right? Because it could go against you $10 in the blink of an eye. Do you really want to lose $10,000 on a high risk trade? Not really, right? So high risk, also high reward. We will be watching this one above yesterday's pullback low to see if there is any action today with NUTX, and maybe this could be a FOMO size trade. All right, we're not FOMOing into the trade, but we take what we call like FOMO size, maybe like 20 shares, 50 shares, right? The stock moves $10, we make $500. The stock drops $5, we lose $250, right? We're not putting ourselves in a position to take big time losses, right? But we're also putting ourselves in a position to get involved if the stock does go to 50, 60, $70, right? You don't need 1,000 shares to make good profit on a stock like this, especially when it's high risk, right? So back burner in UTX, and you guys know exactly what we're looking at here on MULN and BKKT, right? So BKKT breaking and holding above 650. I'm thinking about a swing trade on BKKT. And MULN, if we can start breaking this daily downtrend out of this consolidation, out of this little triangle formation on the daily, I'm also thinking about swing trading MULN. Maybe today or tomorrow, we get confirmation to enter the MULN swing trade. Maybe today or tomorrow, we get confirmation to enter the BKKT swing trade. So right now, both of those stocks on the back burner, looking to see if they set up for a swing trade, guys. NUTX, back burner. ATER, back burner. Top stock to watch today, SBFM. Other top stocks to watch today, if SBFM starts fading and falling and not doing anything, you got SST, you have RCON, and you have GFAI. right? So again, other than that, guys, we're pretty much set, ready to rock and roll. I do not want to overwhelm you guys and just throw a million tickers out there and you guys are like, holy crap, Josh, I can't watch 10 tickers today. I want to watch like 2. We have 1 ticker to watch right out of the gate. Very simple day, guys. SBFM is the #1 stock to be watching right out of the gate. The second it starts dumping on off, if it starts dumping on off, is the second we see what other stocks are starting to move. But as long as SBFM is showing strength like it has so far, this is the only stock that I want to be focused on as we can make some good profits on the stock, guys. Yeah, and then SBFM, I see that big gap fill on FinViz too. So FinViz, you see it. TD, you did see it. Again, I'm just a little confused. A little confused on SBFM and how TD's calculating the chart right now on the daily chart. But again, we'll play it safe. We'll play these intraday levels from pre-market, and we know we have some potential up to $8 next on SBFM. All right, guys. Oil. I do want to talk about oil real quick. We got about 2 minutes. Again, I was talking about oil yesterday. If we start breaking back above our 20 EMA on crude oil futures, right? We start breaking above this yellow line and breaking this daily downtrend out of this little squeeze formation, I will be looking to swing trade USO. Okay, so USO is going to move basically like crude oil futures move. So if I see the technical break on /CL, that's going to be crude oil futures, and we see that technical formation set up. Not only am I looking to day trade some oil, right? But I'm also going to be looking to swing trade USO, right? I may take like 500 shares of USO for a nice little swing trade. I'm expecting to see USO, or I'm not sorry, not USO, but to see crude oil possibly grinding back up into the 115s and maybe even back up into the 130s, which would mean USO could grind back up towards around 82 and possibly even 87. So very, very low risk, pretty good reward. I will be watching, again, oil to see if we start to get that technical break maybe today or tomorrow. And if we do, I'm definitely looking to enter USO for a day trade as well as a possible swing trade to see if we continue to get that build up, that nice little push, that nice little grind to the upside back into the 115s and the 130s on crude oil futures, which would mean we could see USO back up towards around 82 and then back up towards around $87 as well. All right, guys, so I will be watching that. Wanted to give you a heads up. If I start placing a trade on USO, I'll let you guys know exactly my position sizing, my stop, my targets, the reasoning, and get you guys prepared as well. So we are all set, ready to rock and roll, team. The market will be open in 9 seconds. Get fired up. Let's have an awesome day. Let's make it happen, and let's keep locking in those amazing profits, guys. Let's make it happen. So again, I don't want to touch this out of the gate on SBFM. I definitely don't want to be a buyer like right out of the gate on SBFM. I want to see it wash out. I'd like to see it pull back a little bit for us. You know, 516, 525, or let it break that pre-market high and then come back and retest, right? Break, show some strength, pull back, retest, right? I don't want to be the guinea pig. Try and catch that for the bounce and the follow through up to 8. We have about another $1.50 to the upside that we could start to see here on SBFM. So right now, just kind of sitting back, waiting to see what SBFM is going to do out of the gate here, guys. I don't want to be chasing this right out of the gate. By any means, I don't want to be buying this right at resistance after the stock has already made a pretty impressive move to the upside. And Cole pointed out as well, you got a little bit of that rising wedge formation, and that upper trend line puts you right at 650 resistance as well. So I'd want to kind of see it pull back a little bit more. Maybe like that 516 to 525. Find some support down there and look for a nice little entry on SBFM, or let it break to the upside and really show some strength and catch a nice break and retest here on SBFM. So right now, we don't want to be touching SBFM here, guys. I would not want to be involved with SBFM right here. I mean, anything could happen. Could it break and rip? Sure it could. Could it dump? Absolutely. So what do you do if you want to get involved, right? You just sit back and wait. If it breaks and holds, go long. But if it doesn't break and hold, you don't need to be long, because it could definitely start dumping on back down towards around that 520, 525 level. Carnival, 2178 resistance with 2050 support. So right now, Carnival doesn't look bad. Nice gap up, right? We're gapping up today. We pulled back into prior resistance and we held to the penny. So right now, I do like Carnival up to 2178. If Carnival drops below 2050, get out. Right now, you have potential to 2178 on Carnival, and you can see that happen in the next maybe 5 to 10 minutes on CCL. So bottom support 2050, top resistance 2178. Starting to fall a little bit here on SBFM. We're waiting for the pullback and waiting for it to set up. Right, we are still watching GFAI, guys. We are looking at RCON. You have SST that's on watch as well. ATER, again, we have that resistance from 390 up to that 413. Anything over 413, we have room to 425. Anything over 425, that's when we have good potential to 450, 475, and then $5 on ATER. So pullback right now, we want to see the pullback down towards around 390, 393 is a good pullback level on ATER. But this thing is squeezing to the upside. Yes, I did that. Squeezing. Right now, you got ATER getting some action to the upside here, guys. Again, the stock just ripped from 390 to 423 without pulling back. Do you really want to be a buyer at resistance? Probably not. Probably not. So let's look at ATER. Shares outstanding. You got about 60 million. Free float shares, 26 million. So 43% float, short float on ATER. So current short interest percentage, an estimate 35% of the float currently short of ATER. So it could be a nice little squeeze today, guys. Could be the start of a little bit of a short squeeze here. we saw a pretty aggressive move from 390 to 423. So again, if we start breaking that 425, you can see 450, 475. Pretty easy here, guys, on ATER. Yes, it does. BRCC is on a mid-candle breakout. Yeah, for tomorrow. Absolutely, yeah. So nice little gap down here on BRCC. Depending on how we close today and how we look, yeah, this could definitely be the start of a mid-candle breakout for tomorrow. Good eye, Langston. Definitely BRCC. Put the stock for watch for tomorrow for a possible mid-candle breakout for tomorrow, guys. GFAI pulling back. RCON pulling back. SST getting back above 20 here. Let's see if we can hold VWAP and hold 20. But SBFM is still the #1 play, guys. SBFM is still the #1 stock to be watching at this point in time. It just has a lot of resistance here at 650. So if we get a clean break and hold over 650, that's when I get interested with SBFM. But right now at this point in time, guys, we want to make sure that we're sitting back, being patient, doing the right things. All right, don't want to be chasing SBFM right at resistance. I'm watching oil off to the side. I want to see oil breaking that 106 level. If oil starts breaking 106, 106.50, I'm going to go long on USO. Something I've been waiting on for a couple of weeks now. Not a couple of weeks. I'd say a week and a half. And this is a decently shorted stock as well on SST. To actually, again, I'm using Ortex from Trendy Trader, trying to get an idea of how it works and how it's calculated. I guess it's like real time short interest, and it's showing that the current short interest is like 28%. And he was spot on yesterday. He said most shorts start squeezing between that 30 and 40% level. And again, a lot of these stocks that are moving on up, for example, SST showing some real time short interest of 28%, which is right there in that range when we could see potential short squeezes, right? Not saying every stock's a short squeeze, but I want to make sure that we're looking at the data behind every single stock so we don't miss the next best opportunity, right? For example, last week was IGMS, right? We noticed that it had a very high short float percentage, and it was something that we knew could, rip and run to the upside. So I want to make sure that if we do come across these stocks that have potential for the day, that we're looking to see what is the short interest, right? Is it something that could really start to bring some action and some hype with the stock and start ripping and running to the upside? So it's very, very important to do that, guys. Like, for example, SBFM, 6% short, right? So nothing substantial, 6% short. So it's not like we'd see any kind of explosive $2, $3 short squeeze to the upside. But something like SST that's, 30%, shorted right now, that's pretty substantial. That's something to be mindful of, guys. And like ATER as well. SBFM, $500 gain in at 6, out at 650. That's what I'm talking about. That's a nice little trade there. I'm personally sitting back. We banged out 2 trades in pre-market. I took the trade for this little momentum break, whoop, And then we had Kids King call out that nice little downtrend break reversal off 525, and I promise you he caught that one. So we already got some great early morning profits inside of chat. So top 3 stocks right now, you got SBFM, right? Still a top stock. ATER, definitely a stock that could rip and run today. And SST is a stock that could start ripping and running today as well, guys. Ortex, O-R-T-E-X, Ortex. I mean, it's not bad. It's cool. I'm still getting used to it, but they have a lot of data. Fundamental data, upcoming events, corporate action, analyst ratings, dividend payouts, short data, insider data. There's a lot of data, and I'm still just dissecting it to see what everything freaking means, right? So it's called Ortex, O-R-T-E-X. And if I'm not mistaken, ANY was on that short list article that was posted, I think last week, that ANY is like a short squeeze candidate or something like that. So now it's 7%. But ANY is a crypto-related stock. Okay, and if we look at some of our crypto-related stocks right now, do we have like BITF doing anything? No. BITO? No, but ANY I think had a press release yesterday, but it wasn't even the best press release, right? Like the merger fell through, right? Like their merger fell through, their merger agreement. They terminated it. You saw a big drop on off from like $2 all the way down to 150, and then a huge rip and run. The news wasn't all that great. The news wasn't all that great on ANY, but it got a big time rip and run. So I'm not too crazy about ANY right now. I want to see if it's going to hold on up and maybe prove itself, but right now I'm not overly crazy about it. There goes RCON. This is a high short interest stock, guys. I mean, there's a lot of shares short on SST. So again, breaking and holding 20 was what we said this morning would have been a decent little entry on SST. When you go look at short interest right now, it's at 28%. So this is a stock that is decently shorted right now. Again, above that 1825 and back above 20, there was the potential to that high a day of 2417. And that's the all-time high. So technically speaking, over that pre-market high, 25 and then $30. Yeah, there's just no options written that high up on SST, because who would have thought the stock would have gapped up from 16 and found $25 the next day. If the stock holds its gains, right, doesn't dump on off, and it actually continues to rip on up, and it still has action tomorrow, the rest of the week, you'll probably see more options written on SST. I mean, I don't know, even if you go really far out, do you have, yeah, you got, if you go further out, you do have options that are at like 30. Or you go 45 days out, you can buy a $30 strike for $350. Go 38 days out, you got 25s, yeah. So you got to go at least 45 days out to get into the 30 strikes. You got 136. Again, you're looking at same thing, 30 strikes. Let's go ahead and take that to 25. Do we have any more now? Caps at 30. Even going out 290 days, 600 days. The highest strike that you can go buy is a 30 strike on SST. All right, so there's a lot of stuff moving, right? You're 15 minutes in. 15 minutes in. SST breaking and holding $20. You got up to that pre-market high. You got RCON trying to get some action, right? I mean, there's a lot of stocks moving. You got ANY trying to get some action to the upside. So right now, as a new trader, you may be kind of like, which stock? Which stock? Which stock's the best opportunity? Is it this one? How about that? No, this, no. Calm down. Take a step back. Take a deep breath, right? You have ATER moving, SBFM moving, SST moving, RCON moving, ANY moving. There's 5 stocks that are moving. You're like, what stock do I trade? Take a step back. Be calm, cool, collected. You're 16 minutes into the day. Guess what? You have another hour and 15 minutes until things really start slowing down. You have plenty of time to sit back and build a plan, okay? What stock do you like and why? Do you like ANY? Why do you like ANY? Do you like RCON? Why do you like RCON, right? Find a stock that you like and have a reason that you like it. All right, cool. Go do your due diligence, support, resistance, intraday setups, intraday technicals, right? Do your due diligence, get prepared, start building a plan. If this happens, I will take this action. Now, if this happens, I will take this action. So you start building a plan, right? If ANY breaks and holds over 271, I will go long to $3. If ANY doesn't break and hold over 271, I will short it back down to 232. Have a, if this happens, I will do this kind of approach, right? Build your plan and have an idea of what you want to do, right? And basically accept the plan that you build. So start going through your process, calm, cool, collected. Start with the stock that you like the most and why. Do your due diligence, get prepared, do your technical analysis, start building a plan. And once you have everything in place and you have that foundation built, you sit back and you wait for the stock to give you a buy signal. You're just gonna do this. You're just like, all right, cool. I got my plan, I'm looking at it, and all I need now is a buy signal. And I will sit here and do nothing until I get a buy signal. This is the hardest part of trading, is doing nothing. But you will sit here and do nothing until you get a buy signal. The last thing you're going to do is be like, oh shit, ANY's breaking resistance, I'm in. And you're like trading blind, you're gambling, right? What if the stock dumps back down to 240? You're gonna be pretty pissed off that you bought at high a day resistance, aren't you? Yes, you will. So why put yourself in that position in the first place? Do what I just said. Due diligence, get prepared, 1 or 2 stocks at most, build a plan, accept the plan, sit back, do nothing, and wait for the stock to give you a buy signal, especially when there's a lot of action in the market, right? Why am I not going through stocks, talking stock? Because I want you guys to collect yourself, right? I know when stocks are moving, ripping and running left and right, it's easy to fall into the FOMO trap and just buy a stock because it moved up 10 cents, right? That's not what we do. We don't just buy stocks because they popped up 10, 20 cents. We buy stocks and we get buy signals. So sit back, do your due diligence, build your plan, get prepared, and wait for the stock to give you that buy signal. And when it does, you react. Buy. And you already have a plan in place. You know where your stop's at, you know where your target's at. You just buy it, you react. You don't hesitate, you just react. And then trade your plan, right? Let's simplify the trading process. Let's get you guys in profits chat today, all right? So if you feel your heart's racing, you're all over the place, maybe you need to walk out for a couple minutes. I know how it feels to be a newer trader in the market. Your heart starts racing, starts sweating a little bit. You're clicking through 20 tickers at a time. You're just like, oh, where's it at? Where's it? You might want to step out for a couple minutes, collect yourself, come back with a better, more collected mindset. So ANY, we are breaking above 271. So we have potential to 298, potential to 324, potential to 340, okay? Right now, you could say that you have some kind of support back down around 250, coming off this daily chart. But again, you have that little hiccup candle right here, around 263, 258 in that little 5-cent window, but you did just break the spiking high from March 28th. So you just broke that spiking high here intraday at 271. This is your light level of support. It could hold and rip up to 3 off this level. But if it does drop below 270 here, you'll probably see it pull back towards around 257. Okay, so right now, light support 271. If this level holds, you could see ANY squeeze to 3. Over 3, it's squeezed to 324 and 340. If you crack below 270, watch for it to fall back down towards around 257 on ANY. If you guys are watching that stock. SST, new high a day. It's heavily shorted as well. This stock could squeeze to 30 next. So where's support? Support is prior resistance, new support. So prior pre-market resistance, prior intraday resistance, 24.18. So where's support right now? 24.18. Where do we want to see the stock pull back to on light volume? 24.18. So if we get a nice 2 to 3 candle pullback on SST right to 24.18, right, we could look to make entries. I would say put a stop loss, maybe give it $1 of breathing room. I mean, shoot, give it $1, right? Give it $1, and you're looking for about $2 to $3 to the upside. I mean, in reality, yes. So if you get a fill right around this 24.18 off a pullback entry for the next leg up, you could put a stop about $1 away, and you would have some potential back up to the high a day. So I'd like to see this open out of the halt, pull back into that 24.18 level, get an entry, risk $1, and look for it to get back up towards around that high a day or that halt level if we do indeed start to see it pull on back. But right now, SST currently halted to the upside, guys. This right now is the top stock to watch, right? SBFM not doing too much right now. ATER not doing too much right now. RCON nothing. GFAI nothing. BRCT is starting to move on up here a little bit. And then we got ANY. So I'd say top 3 stocks right now at this point in time. ANY, 257 support. SST currently halted. Bottom support, 24.18. SBFM still has potential, but we need a break and hold over that 650 level. Since we have a nice little 5-minute halt on SST, that gives me literally 1 minute to go use the restroom real quick, and I'll be right back with you guys. Give me 1 second, and I'll be right back. All right. We are back before it goes live. It was halted at 9:52. We'll be live at 9:57:39 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What? And it's live. Cool. All right, guys, this thing is just on freaking fire right now. Way too overextended to get involved. I mean, this thing could go to 40, 50, 60 bucks, technically speaking, but it's the thing, guys, is does anybody want to buy a stock when it's gone from 22 to 30? I don't. Does this stock have potential to hit 40 and 50 bucks today? Absolutely. But the FOMO is real right now. Not for me, but for new traders. Like, the FOMO is real right now. Traders just buying this thing, buying it. Again, me as a professional, I can't buy a stock when it's already up that much. It just went from 22 to 32 bucks. I can't be a buyer here. If I bought it right here, what kind of trader am I? Not. I'm just FOMOing in. I can't buy it. So I'm going to sit back and wait for a good little setup here. A nice little trade, nice little opportunity. But yeah, right now, guys, there's no reason to be chasing the stock. It's cool to watch. It's fun to watch. If you guys were in on the break and retest of 20, good job, right? That was a good trade down here before it even started to explode to the upside. But right now, there's no reason that you guys are trading this stock as it just went from 22 to 32. Chris got in at 26.32. Nice. So let's see if we, obviously we need to start to see some profit taking, see this bad boy pull back. High short interest. We're definitely seeing a short squeeze on SST, right? I still don't know how to read Ortex's data besides just the short interest of the free float, right? And I don't know what a lot of these lines mean. Ortex estimated short interest percentage of flow. I don't know what that means. ANY, big pop on up, dropping back down. BRCC, not a lot going on there. GFAI, not a lot going on. RCON, not a lot going on. SST is the short squeeze of the day. And don't get me wrong, SBFM still has some decent potential, guys. It's not just dumping on off like a lot of these other stocks are. Look at RCON starting to fade and fall. GFAI fading and falling, right? ANY starting to fade and fall here. ATR starting to fade and fall here. So right now we could see that SBFM doesn't really have any opportunity right now to take a trade, but it's not dumping and fading and falling like a lot of these other stocks are. It's actually holding its gains, and it's actually just consolidating pretty nice, trying to hold on up. I still think it's in play. I still think we need to keep the stock on high watch. Right now, until SST dumps, there's probably not going to be anything else going on in the market with some of these other stocks as far as some big time moves. So SST was halted at 9:58.39. We'll be live at 10:03.39. So we got about 2 more minutes to go here on SST.